media queries. Before going into media queries, we will learn one more concept known as specificity. Okay. So specificity is nothing but scoring. So during selectors, I told one thing around this scoring, right? This pointers or one order of priority. You guys remember that order of priority? What is the order of priority? SICTU, right? So I told some order of priority SICTU. What S stands for? S stands for inline. Sorry, S stands for inline styles. How many points for inline styles? 1000. I stands for ID. How many points for ID? 100. And C stands for class. How many points for class? 10. And T stands for tag or type selector. 1 point. And U stands for universal, right? Universal has 0 points. It doesn't have any points. So we learned this, what is the priority of various selectors, right? Now let's suppose I will take a div. I'll take ID equal to container. And inside this, I will write one h1 tag as Masai school. And for this h1, I'll give some ID equal to Masai. And also I'll give class equal to school. Okay. So I'm writing one div tag. Inside the div tag, I'm taking one h1 tag. So div tag has ID container and h1 tag has class school and ID Masai. Okay. Now I will style this h1 tag. So suppose if I write h1, okay, as background color some teal. I will open with, I'll copy this path. So now I'll get background color teal, right? Suppose if I write dot school background color red. Now what is my background color of h1? Red or teal? Red, right? Why? So what is the score of this h1? What is the score of h1? This one is tag selector, right? What is the score of tag selector? 1. So we can also call this as specificity score. Okay, score or specificity score. So for this school, what is my score again? What is my score? Dot school, it's a class. So what is the score for class? It is 10. So which has highest score now? 10, right? So what will be my background color? It will be red. Now if I write ID Masai and if I write background color pink. Now what is the specificity score of this ID selector? For ID selector, what is the score? 100, right? So now what will be the background color of h1 tag? It will be pink. Okay. So now what I will do is I will write one more kind of selector. So what I will do is I will write div greater than h1. So what is greater than symbol here? What is greater than symbol? It selects child selector, right? So can I write div greater than h1? Will it select h1 now? Now if I write some background color yellow. Now tell me what is my background color? I will give you options here. Okay. I'll give you some options. First one is red. Second one is pink. Third one is yellow. And fourth one is steel. So tell me the option number. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is my option? So before coming on to conclusion, we need to calculate the score, right? Depending upon the score only, we can decide what is the background color. So let's try to calculate the score. So what is the score now? So now, do we have only one single selector or multiple selectors here? Previously, we have only one single selector, right? ID selector, class selector, tag selector. But in this case, we have multiple selectors, right? So what are the various multiple selectors we have? What kind of selectors these are? Div and h1. These are two tag selectors, right? Div is one tag selector and h1 is one tag selector. What is the score for div? Only div. It is 1. What is the score for h1? 1. So what is the total score now? Total score is 2. Are we adding any scores for this combinator here? Greater than symbol? We are not adding any score, right? That means combinators have 0 score, right? So now can you say along with universal, combinators also have 0 score? Do you agree with that? Along with universal, combinators are also having 0 score. Understood this step, everyone? So now among this, which has highest score now? 1, 10, 100, 2. What is the highest score and what is the background color? So my background will be pink only, right? No change. Okay, cool. Now I will write one more kind of combinator. I will write container greater than h1. And I will write background color some orange. Now tell me the background color of h1. What will be background color? First calculate the score and then check the output. Don't blindly tell the answer. First calculate the score and tell me the answer. So now here also we are using some multiple selectors, right? What are the selectors we are using in this case? What are the selectors we are using in this case? What is the first selector? First one is ID, right? So this is nothing but ID plus what is the next selector? Tag, right? Okay. So what is the score of ID selector? It is 100. And what is the score of tag selector? Plus 1. Do we have any score for this greater than symbol here? No, right? So now what is the score? 101. Now among these, so which background has highest score? Orange, right? So now what is my background color? Will be orange. Now I will write one more selector. So I will write container greater than dot school. And I will write background color. Tell me some colors. I will write some green. Okay. Now first try to calculate the score and then tell me the answer. Don't blindly tell me the answer. First see the combinators. What are the various selectors we have here? What are the various selectors we have? So what are the various selectors we have? First one is ID selector. And then what is the next selector we have? Class selector. What is the score of ID? ID 100. What is the score of class? 10. What is the total score? 110. Now among these, so this selector has some highest score 110. So now what is the background color? Green, right? Understood everyone this step? Now I will write one more thing. Container greater than Masai. And I will write background color blue. Now tell me the score of this. So what are the various selectors we are using here? First one is ID and second one is also ID. What is the total score? 100 plus 100. What is the total score? 200. So what is my background color now? Blue. Now I will write one more thing. Slash container space slash Masai. Now what is the combinator I'm using here? What is the combinator I'm using here? Space. What is space for? Space is for descendant, right? So now tell me what is the specificity score of this thing, container and Masai. We are using here what are the various selectors we are using? ID plus ID, right? So do you have any score for this space again? Space also combinator, right? Do we have any score for space? No. So what is the total score? 100 plus 100. That is equal to 200. So you saw whenever you have same properties multiple times, so whatever defined at the bottom will be applied, right? So now in this case, both the properties have same scores. Now what is the background color for me? CN, right? Understood, everyone? Space is a combinator. Space doesn't have any score. All the combinators have a score of 1. I will show you one table now. So this table we saw in the second class, right? For selectors, for inline we have 1000, for ID we have 100, for class we have 10, for tag we have 1, for universal we have 0. Along with this, there are few more things. So score of 10 will also be given to attribute and then pseudo classes. So did you guys remember the attribute selector? Attribute selector is something like if you want to set attribute of anchor tag. So you can write a href is equal to some value here, right? And for input tag, input some placeholder is equal to, you can write whatever attribute you want, right? So all these things are attributes. And what are pseudo classes which we saw? Pseudo classes. You should not forget these things. We saw hover and child, right? So all these things, attribute, pseudo classes and class will have how many points? 10 points. Before and after is pseudo class or pseudo element? Before and after. It's pseudo element, right? Not pseudo classes. So now along with tag, pseudo elements also have 1 point. So pseudo element includes before, after, and then first letter or first line, whatever it may be. There are so many pseudo elements. And along with universal, combinators also have some 0 score. So what are the various combinators we have? Plus, greater than, tilde, and then space. So all these combinators have 0 score. You should remember this table at least. If you remember this table, then you can solve any specificity question you want. Now I will give you I will ask you a few questions. So tell me the answers. Okay. So take, I will write here at the end. So first I will write uh, P greater than dot Masai. So tell me what is the score of this? What is the score of this selector? P greater than dot Masai. I'm not writing any CSS. I'm just writing few syntaxes. I want the score of this. So what are the various selectors we are using here? Tell me the selectors first. First one is tag selector. And we are using greater than. So do we have anything for greater than symbol? No, right? So one is tag selector, and what is the next one? Class selector. So what is the total score? Tag is 1 plus class is 10. What is the total score? 11. You should not worry about this greater than symbol because it has score of 0. Greater than plus tilde and space, everything has score of 0. Now I'll write one more thing. Div greater than div greater than span greater than dot container. Now tell me the score of this. What is div here? What is div? Div is a tag. So what is the score of tag? 1. And again div, again 1. What is span? Span is also a tag. What is the score of tag selector? 1. And dot container. What is dot container? It's a class. So what is the score of class? 10. So what is total score? 30. Okay. Now let's write dot heading P hashtag main. Now what is the score of this? What is the score of this? So what is dot heading here? It's a class. So score of class is 10. P is a tag selector. Score of tag 1. And hashtag main is a ID selector. What is the score of ID? 100. What is the total score? 111. Okay. So now I will write one more thing. Slash navbar p demo greater than li. Now tell me the score of this. What is navbar? Navbar is an ID. Score is 100. What is p? P is a tag. Score is 1. What is demo? It's an ID. It's 100. And what is li? Li is tag. It is 1. So what is the total score? 202. Now I will tell one more thing. Div greater than p of first letter. Not tell me the score of this. Whoever tells this right, I'll give you a chocolate. I'll give you options also. Option, I'll give you numbers. So numbers are 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So among this, there is one answer. So what is div here? Div is tag, right? So 1 point. That is sure. Okay. So 1 is not my answer because I already have minimum score of 1. So I'm removing it. So plus, so what is the next thing? What is this entire thing? It is pseudo element or pseudo class. So this entire thing is pseudo element or only first letter is pseudo element? What is pseudo element here? Entire P double colon first letter is pseudo element or only first letter is pseudo element? What is pseudo element here? Only this first letter is pseudo element, right? I told you pseudo elements are something like first letter, and then I also told first line, right? And I also told before. Did I say anyway that P first line is a pseudo element or some tag name first line is pseudo element? No, right? So now is this a combination of tag and a pseudo element? Is this a combination of a tag, P tag, and a pseudo element, right? So what is score of tag now? First tag, what is score of tag? So can you tell this is the combination of tag plus pseudo element? Can you say this? So what is the total score now? 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3. Whoever has told 2, did you get understanding regarding this? Why it is 3? I will pass all the chocolates. I noted down all the names. I'll pass all the chocolate. We'll get it tomorrow. Maybe. Clear, everyone? I have address with me in my database. So those who have has done wrong in your quiz, pre-class quiz, so try it again once because this specificity is very important concept when you go for interviews or somewhere. Okay, so this is very important concept. You can attend 2 times. Yes. Let's see one more thing here. Let's see one more thing. Let's write div greater than a and target equal to. Now tell me what is the score of this. So this is a combination of first one is tag, that is clear. And what is the entire thing? This entire thing is a combination of a tag selector plus pseudo class, right? In this case. So again, a tag, that is anchor tag in this case. And what is the next thing? Target is equal to blank. It's attribute selector, right? Or you can tell pseudo classes. Now what is the score of this? 1 plus 10, right? Pseudo class has points, 10 points. Can you see here? Pseudo class has 10 points. I think I've given this table in notes also, right? So I can refer to notes also. So the total points are 12. I given in notes. Don't say no. Because they're in notes. Yeah, CSS will be asking interviews. If someone wants to ask anything in HTML or CSS, this is the first topic which they will ask, specificity. And next is around grid and flex difference and all. Okay, cool. So let's go into media queries now. Let's jump into. So whenever giving styles, whenever you're getting wrong output, then check your specificity score and then carry forward. Okay. If you are not getting your expected output, then you're doing something wrong in the score itself. So please make sure your specificity score is not overwriting anywhere. So now let's jump into something called as media queries. So why this media queries or something called as responsiveness is important for you as a developer? Why it's very important? So do you know 80% of the users who open Masai School websites are mobile users. Okay. So whenever we saw the stats, so we came to know that 80% of the users were opening Masai School websites or mobile users or opening website from the mobile. So if you build only for website, only for browser, only for a large screen, will that look good in small screen also? Suppose I'll open one assignment from previous day. So let's open, where is that? Open this coffee, grid coffee. Okay. I'll open this and I will try to open in mobile screen. So for opening in mobile screen, you can do it from Windows also, means from browser also. So you need to click on inspect. In inspect, can you see a symbol called mobile here? Some mobile here. Can you see a symbol behind this arrow? Beside this arrow, there is some symbol called mobile. So click on this. So after clicking on this, you will get some dimensions and then some specifications or some numbers here. Okay. So among these, can you see so many mobiles are there? iPhone SE, iPhone XR, iPhone 12 Pro, iPad Air, iPad Mini, and so on. Generally, for checking responsiveness, we'll keep it as responsive so that whatever screen it may, so we will get all the outputs. So I'll keep it responsive. So now if I change my screen size, so can you see I'm changing my screen size, right? It is large screen now. Now I'm changing. It is something like medium screen. So is my website looking good here at this point? No, right? If I go to small screen, so can you see it is not looking good, right? So the user experience is not there in this case. So that is the importance of building websites in small screens also. Suppose if I open Masai School, this is for large screens, right? Suppose if I go to small screens, so suppose if I keep it something like this. So this is the default size. So now can you see, is it looking good for your mobile screens also? It is not breaking anywhere, right? So I can also see some sliding like this. And you can also, suppose if I go to Masai Investors, yesterday you built Masai Investors, right? So try to open that in mobile screens, it will look very bad. But if you see Masai Investors here, can you see? They made something, they coded something that it looks better in small screens also. We'll see how to make this kind of layouts also in this class. Clear, everyone? Why this responsiveness is important for you whenever you go for development? So now if I resize my window, can you see anything changing in my browser? Can you see any numbers are changing in my browser? So something is changing here, right? So what is this 1360 here in this case? This is dimensions of my screen. So what is 1360? Can you see something popping up there? It is width of my screen, right? So whenever you are changing your screen size, so what is changing there, width or height? Height is never fixed, right? Height is never fixed. For mobile, you can scroll infinity. So there you can have infinite scrolling. So now if I change my screen size, so can you see the dimensions changing? My width is changing here, right? Okay. So now can you tell this is something called as small screen around 320 or something? So can you tell this is small screen, smallest screen you can see in market. So can you tell that your small screen starting from 320 pixel? Okay. So I will write it down here. So 1 second. So your small screen starting from, so can I tell it as minimum width instead of starting point? Can I tell minimum width? The minimum width that a small screen can have is what is that? 320 pixel, right? Am I right? Or else I will write in tabular format. So this is minimum width and I will write maximum width and I will write small screen. So for small screen, what is the minimum width? We saw 320 pixel. Okay. And if I change this, so if I change these dimensions now, so can you tell my maximum width is around 480 pixel? It's approximate. It is not same for all the devices. I'm telling some approximate values here, not original values. It may change respect to your phone size and all. So now what is the maximum width for my small screen? Can you tell around, it is around some 480 pixel? Do you agree with me, everyone? Now, what is the starting point of medium screen in this case? Suppose if I write medium here, what is the starting point of medium screen? What is the minimum width of medium screen? Minimum width of medium screen is maximum width of small screen, right? Minimum width of medium screen is maximum width of small screen. So can I tell 481 pixel? And I will also try to increase a bit. So I will increase around 750 or 760. So this massage school website is not built for medium screens, so it will look bad in medium screens. So okay, it is around 570 or 760 or 750 or something. So can you tell this is something like your iPad screens or your tablet screens, Samsung tablet or something. So medium screens you generally see in tablets or iPads or something, right? So I will take this medium screen. So that maximum width of medium screen, I'll take it around 768 pixel. Okay. Not 757. I'll take it as around 768. So it can be varied according to screen size also. So you can have some 10 inches tablets or 11 inches tablets or 8 inches tablets. But I'm taking it as 768 pixel as maximum for medium screens. Now, can you tell? So what is the large screens now? For large screens, what it will be? So whatever above 768, can you tell it as large screens now? Whatever is above 768, so 768 to whatever my screen size is. In my case, it is around 1360 or something. So can I tell it as maximum screen? So now tell me, do you need to write separate code for large screens now when you're coding? Because, so what is the default screen you're coding right now? What is the default screen you're coding right now? It is large screen, right? So remember this thing, remember this, you can, this is, and one more thing, these are not constant, this can be varied according to screen sizes. Okay, so you can remember the rough values of this. You can follow these things when I'm doing assignments. Okay, so for small screens, what is the minimum width? 320 and maximum width is 480. For medium screens, it is 481 and 768. And for large, above 768. So now we will try to code it. So if you want to take screenshot, you can take. I'm erasing it. If you want to take screenshots, we can take it. Cool. So now let's try to code something now. Okay. So I will close this and also close this. I will also close this. We'll try to open a new window again. Okay. So now I wrote something media query or HTML. So now what I will do is I will write style, and for body I will keep some background color as yellow. Now what will I get in the output if I do something like this? What will I get in the output? Will I get full pages yellow? I'm writing entire body, right? So I'm getting full pages yellow. Now, whatever code you are writing, will it apply only for large screens or all screen sizes? Whatever code you are writing until now, will it apply for large screen or all the screen sizes? All screens, right? So even if I resize my window now, even if I resize, if I go to inspect and if I resize, so for whatever width it is yellow only, right? There is no change in color. So what did you understand from this? So whatever you are writing by default, it is applied for all screen sizes, right? Large, medium, small, anything. It is default. Understood? But for writing, so you want some other color for medium screens. You want some other color for small screens. So you need to write something for getting that. Okay. So you need to have some syntax for writing these things. So for writing media queries, we will have some syntax. Okay. So we need to write that syntax inside our style tag. Okay. So syntax is similar to like if conditions. So what we'll do is if screen is medium, I want some styles. And if screen is small, I want some styles. We can't write if conditions in here. So we will use the syntax. What is syntax here? But it is similar to a if condition. So whatever you're writing inside this, so whatever styles you write inside this, it will apply for which screen? Whatever styles you write inside this inside this if condition or inside this medium, it will apply only for medium screens, right? And whatever styles you write inside this small screen if condition, so it will apply for small screens only, right? Understood this point, everyone? So we'll see what the syntax is, but I'm telling the general if condition. It's like an if condition only. So now what is the syntax? Do we need to write large screen again? Do we need to write for large screen? If screen is large, do we need to write if condition for large screen? Do we need to write this? Whatever you are writing outside these blocks, it's for large screens, right? Do you understand that? Whatever you write inside these blocks, it's for medium, it is for small, and whatever you're writing outside, it's for large screen, right? So do you need to write for large screen again? Okay. So now instead of this if condition, we can't write if condition. So there is some syntax for this. So I'll tell what is the syntax for that. The syntax will look something like, the first word will start like @media. So what @media will tell? It is telling that you are writing some media queries inside your CSS. Okay. So @media will tell what is the media query. You are writing some media queries inside your CSS. And second one is, you will tell the screen type. Okay. So generally you will follow for all screen sizes or all screen types. So all represents here all screen types. It can be printer, it can be your mobile device, or it can be your laptop device or anything, scanner or anything. Understood? Media represents your media type or you're using a media, and all represents your screen type. And what are the two conditions we saw for writing any media queries? What are the two widths we saw? One is minimum width and one is maximum width, right? So we need to apply both the things here. Okay. So we need to apply media all, and so and is similar to your end statement. So you know what is end statement, right? In your JavaScript. So it is similar like end statement. It is and what is your minimum width for medium screens? We discussed previously. What is the minimum width for medium screens? Medium screens. It is around 481 pixel, right? And what is the maximum width for medium screens? I told it's around 768 pixel. Understood? So whatever styles you write inside this block. So do you know what block is, everyone? Block is whatever you write inside the curly brace, it's called a block. Whatever you write inside a curly brace, it's called a block. So whatever you write inside this block will be applied for which screen size? Will be applied for which screen size? So it is for this is for medium. So see the dimensions, see the width of this medium size. Okay. This is for medium screen. So my width is starting from 481 and 7. So it is medium screen. So whatever styles I write inside this, it will be applied for which screen? I'll comment this out. Or I will remove this. Medium, right? So now if I write body background color some orange. So what we are telling now, whenever my screen is medium, I want body background color as orange. So will I get the output now? Will I get the output? So now let's see. So I'll refresh my page. So what is the maximum width of medium screen? So if I go below 768 pixel, it will be medium screen, right? So I'm changing my dimensions. So look at it carefully. I'm going below 768 pixel here. Okay. So I'm going very slowly. So can you see the color change? Above 768, it is yellow. Below 768, it is orange. Can you see that? And what is the minimum width of medium screen? 480, right? Now tell me, if my width is 420, what is the background color? If I go below 480, what is my background color? If I go below 480, I'm going very slowly. If I go below 480, so can you see what is there here? Why yellow is coming? Why yellow is coming there? Because for small screens, did we write any code for small screens in this place? Did we write any code for small screens? No, right? So what is happening? Whatever default is there, it's applying, right? So now this background color orange will be applied only if it is between 481 pixel and 768 pixel. Do you agree with that? If the screen size is only between 481 pixel and 768 pixel only, then the background color will be applied. Do you agree with that? Rest of the screen size, you will get default color, right? Whatever default is there, you will get it. So now shall we write for small screens also? Small screen. Okay. So for small screen, we'll write what is the syntax? @ media all, and what is the minimum width? For small screens, what is the minimum width? 320 pixel. And what is the maximum width? Maximum width is 480 pixel. Now, whatever styles you write inside this, it will be applied for which screens? Styles inside this will be applied for small screens between 320 pixel and 480 pixel, right? Do you agree with that? Now, if I write body and background color red. So now are you specifying any color for small screens for body? Now let's see your output. So this is for large screen. For medium screens below 768, it is orange. And for small screens below 480, it will be red. Can you see that? Everyone? Small screen, medium screen, and large screen. If I go below 320, what will happen? Someone is asking, if I go below 320, what will happen? Below 320, what will happen? For below 320, did we write any styles? No, right? So it will be default color only. It will be yellow again. Can you see that? Yellow again. Understood? Can we change only background color, or can we change anything you want? Suppose inside my body, I will write H1 Masai investors. Okay. So I will see now. So I want this to be centered. So what I will do is I will write H1 text align center. But for medium screens, I want to decrease this font size of Masai investors. Or I will take a P tag instead of H1 tag. I will take a P tag. Okay. And for P tag, I will take text align center and I will write font size as 60 pixel. So now this is for which screen? 60 pixel is for all screen size, right? We didn't try anything. So whatever it may be, for every screen size, it is 60 pixel only, right? Can you see that? Is my screen lagging? Okay. So whatever my screen size it is 60 pixel only, right? Font size. But now for medium screens, I want to decrease my font size. So what should I do? For medium screens, I want to decrease my font size to 40 pixel. And for small screens, I want to decrease the font size to 30 pixel. So what should I do? So inside my block for medium screens, can I write P and font size as 40 pixel? Will this work for medium screens? And for each and every screen, I want texture and center only. So do I need to write texture and center again in medium screens? I want texture and center for all the screens. So do I need to write texture and center again for medium screens? No, right? Because whatever you write, it is default for all screen sizes, right? Okay. So now again for small screens, I will write P font size. I want 30 pixel. So let's see the output now. So this is for large screens, medium screens. Can you see the font size change here? 32, 62, 40, and then for small screens to 30. So can you see text is always aligned center only because we are giving it as default property. This is for large screens, medium screens it is 40, and small screens it is 30. Understood? Now, what you understood from this? What you understood from text align center? So whatever properties are there in common, you can write it at the top, right? Whatever properties are common for your website, you can write it at the top, and whatever is not common, you can write in the blocks, right? We don't have to write 3 times same code. We will write only the things which are different for different screen sizes. Okay, I will tell how to do that. Now let's open this yesterday assignment, this coffee wala. Okay, I will open with live server. I will paste it side by side because your telling screen is lagging. So I'm taking this coffee. So now what I want is, for medium screens, I want only 2 cards per row. How many cards for medium screens? This is for large screen. I have 3 cards per row, three columns per row. For medium screens, I want 2 columns per row. And for small screens, I want only 1 column per row. Can I achieve that? So what is changing in this case for me in this code? So for medium screens, I want 2 columns. So for getting 2 columns, what should I change in this code? What should I change in this code for getting only 2 columns? If I change this 3 to 2, will this be enough for me? If I change this 3 to 2, will I get only 2 columns? Can you see I'm getting only 2 columns, right? But I want 2 columns first medium screens. So what should I do now? I want 2 for medium screens only. And one more thing is, whenever you're writing media queries, the media queries should be at the bottom of your style tags. Okay. It should be at the bottom. Whatever is common, it should be at the top, or else it will overwrite. So what is the syntax for media queries? @media all. And what is the minimum width for medium screens? Minimum width for medium screens. I'm writing for medium screens now. 481 pixel. And what is the maximum width? 768 pixel. Now, what do you want to change in this? For medium screens, you want only 2 columns, right? So do you need to write all this again in medium? Whatever you want to change, you need to write only that, right? So here, what you want to change in this case? You want to change only this grid template columns, right? Am I right, everyone? So what will I do? So I will write hashtag container grid template columns. How many columns I want? Repeat 2, 1F. Now can you see the change? This is for large screen and this is for medium screen. Can you see the change now? But what is happening in this case? We have given one more property here. We are given width as 75%. 75% for which screen? Large screen, we are given width as 75, right? But for medium screens, I want width as some 90%. Can I rewrite this width for medium screens now? So I'll go to this medium screens. I will write width as 90% now. So now for medium screens, can you see the change? It's occupying 90%. I'll stop my share and share it again. Some of it are lagging. I think it's the issue with Zoom and my MacBook. So MacBook has a higher frequency rate than Zoom. So now this is my large screen. And if I resize, I'm getting for medium. And can you see the width of it? Width is also changing, right? 1 second. I'll keep it full screen. My screen is not visible. Now? Okay. Now is your code looking good for, is your output looking good for medium screens? This is for large screen and this is for medium screen. Now, if you want to code for small screens, so what is the change you want? For small screens, you want only one column. So what is the change in your code? For small screens, you want only one column per row. What is the change? So I write for small screens, media, all, and what is the minimum width for small screen? 320 pixel. What is the maximum width? 480 pixel. And what you need to change inside this? Same things, right? Instead of 2, what will you keep now? 1. If I change to small screen now, can you see the output? You're getting only one column per row now. Understood? Now tell me, yesterday you have built this Masai investors page, right? So this Masai investors page, yesterday you built for large screens. For medium screens, what is the change you will do in medium screens? For medium screens, it looking something like this. So what is the change you will do in medium screens? This is for large screen and this is for medium screen. What is the change you will do? You will take 3 columns per row, right? Repeat 3, 1 FR. And what is the width? For large screen, width is around 80%, 90%. For small screen, medium screen, 100%. And for small screens, how many columns? 2 columns. So what you need to change in this? You need to change only number of columns, right? So if you change number of columns and width and whatever properties you want extra, you'll get the required output. Am I right? Understood, everyone? How media queries is working? Okay, cool. So now let's try to solve. Let's take some 5 minutes of break or before solving this session. Okay, take 5 minutes of break and then we can solve this session. Can't control the number of columns, right? It will automatically wrap it if the width is not sufficient for you. But in grid, you can control the number of columns you want. So how many columns you want for screen size, you can control it. So there is more control when you go for grid than flex. Now this is the first question of V session. So you need to build these layouts. This is for large screens. Okay. So it should look something like this. And this is for medium screens. And this is for small screens. So you need to build these layouts using media queries. These are not 3 different layouts. This is for large, medium, and small. So what will be the approach for you on seeing this question? You should use grid, by the way. So what is the approach you will follow for this? First build for large screens. Okay, we will build. So what is the approach we will follow? This writing grid template rows, grid template columns. Okay. Okay, let's follow that then. So for large screens, what will be approach? What will be approach for large screens? How many divs you want? This is one div, right? Entire navigation is a one div. And again, this is another div. So for this, can you use grid? For this div, can you use grid? How many columns? Four columns, right? Okay, let's try to build this then. First, we'll build first large screens as always. So let us go now. So I will take two divs. First one is navigation. So I will take ID equal to navbar. And I will take one more div and ID equal to boxes. So I will write style. And for navbar, what is the width I want for large screens? So whatever I'm writing here, it is for large screens. So navbar is something like yellow color here in this part. So what is the width for you want for navigation bar? So I will write navigation inside this navigation. So background color is yellow and some font size of 30 pixel. Okay. And you can also give some padding if you want. Padding of 30 pixel or 20 pixel. So we build the navigation now. So next inside this boxes, how many child boxes you have inside this second div? Four, right? So I'll write div into 4. So now for boxes, what is the display we should use? For boxes, what is the display we should use? Display is grid. How many columns? Repeat. 4, 1 FR, right? 4 columns. So what is the width of each column here? In this case, how can I take the width? So I can take around 200 pixel, right? I'll take around 200 pixel. Okay. So I will write grid template rows, not with height, not with height. So what is the height I can take? How many rows I have? Only one row, right? So can I directly take 400 pixel? So now inside this, I will write box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4. So I need to give some colors to the boxes. That's why it is not coming. So how can I give color for the first box? So boxes greater than div of nth child 1. Similarly, I will give for rest of the boxes. And child 2, 3, 4. So what are the various colors? Red, green, blue, gray. Background color red, background color green, background color blue. So already able to see some layout here. Background color gray. So what is missing in this case? Gap is missing. So keep some gap of I have 400 pixel or 200 pixels. So gap of around 20 pixels. You also need some margin top, right? From the navigation. So I will give margin bottom only for this navigation. Margin bottom of 40 pixels or 20 pixels. So did you get the layout for large screens now, everyone? Any doubts in this large screen? Just followed grid and then use columns and rows. Font size you can increase. Font size 30 pixels. Clear until this point? Now what is happening for medium screens? What is happening for medium screens now? What is changing from large and medium? First tell me that point. Is navigation bar changing for you? Anything for medium screens? Navigation bar is not changing, right? It is still 100% width and still background yellow and something. But boxes, previously, how many columns you have and how many rows you have? Previously, you have 4 columns and 2 rows. Sorry, 1 row. Now you're having 2 columns and 2 rows. So what is the change? What is the thing you need to change here in your code? So instead of writing 4,1 FR, what you should write? 2,1 FR. And instead of 1 row, how many rows you have now? 2 rows, right? So if you change only these 2 points, is that enough for you for medium screens? Let's see. So first write the syntax for medium screens. Why it has gap here? So what is syntax? At the rate media all and minimum width. What is the minimum width for medium screen? 481 pixel. And what is the maximum width? 768 pixel. So what you need to change in this? So inside boxes, go into boxes, hashtag boxes, grid template columns. How many columns you want now? Repeat. 2,1 FR. And how many rows you want now? 2 rows, right? 200 pixel and 200 pixel. Instead of 1 row, you want 2 rows now. Can you see the output now for medium screens? This is for large screen. And when I go to medium, can you see the output? Can you also write repeat here? Instead of 200 pixel 2 times? Repeat 2,1 pixel. Meta tag you will get by clicking on exclamatory mark and enter. I told the shortcut, right? How to get the template of HTML. In the template, you'll get meta tag also. So there is also change in order also. Can you see box 1 is coming first and box 3 is coming next to box 2. So how can we achieve that? Box 1 coming, box 1, box 3, box 2, box 4. But we are having box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4. So how can we get this order? So yesterday I told both Flex and Grid have same properties. So what is the property we have in Flex that will change the order of grid items or order of child items? Did you learn about order in Flex class? So what happens if 2 items have same one item has largest order, what will happen? What is the default order for everything? What is the default order? Suppose if I write order, what is the default order? If I write 0 for child 1, is there any change in my code output? If I write order 0 for each and every child, is there any difference in my output? Suppose if I write order as 10 for my first child, what will happen? If I write order as 10 for my first child, what will happen? It will go to the last, right? Can you see? Now box 1 is at the last. So now as per your output, what do you want? Which box you want at the last? As per the required output, which box you want at the last? This is for large screen. So for medium screens, you want box 1, box 3, box 2, box 4. So how can you achieve this? How can we achieve this? So can I give order as something like this? So for box 1, I will give, sorry, I will use white color. So for box 1, I will use order 1. For box 3, I will use order 2. For box 2, I will use order 3. For box 4, I will use order 4. Will this work if I give like this? So box 4 has highest order, so it will come at the last. Box 2 has order 3, which is less than order 4, so it come at before last. So can I do something like this to get the right order? So where we need to give, which screen we need to give this? In which screen? Medium screen, right? Not large screen. So now let's give in medium screen also. So go into a code. So you need to copy all these things again, all the childs, and paste it inside this. Do you need colors here? Do you need these colors? No, right? You can remove them because it is same for all the screen sizes. Now, what is the order of box 1? Order of box 1 is 1. Order of box 2? Box 2 is 3. Order of box 3? 2. Order of box 4? 4. So now did you get the output? You can also solve this question using that block method, which I told yesterday. That grid area method, you can also solve this method, grid template areas. You can have a try at it once. That is simple compared to this. Instead of writing this all codes, what you can simply do, you can arrange the blocks, right? You can arrange the blocks elements like box 1, box 2, box 3, box 2, box 4. Understood medium screen, everyone? Any doubts in medium screens? Cool. Now for small screens, what is the change here? For small screens, what is the change? Order is changing, and also we have only one column, right? Previously we have 2 columns per row. Now we have only 1 column per row. And how many rows we have? 4 rows. So now for medium screen, what should I change? I should change only these 2 things again, right? For getting the basic layout. So let's try to build for medium screens at the rate media all and minimum width. What is the minimum width for medium small screens? 320 pixel. And what is the maximum width? 480 pixel. And inside this, what should I do? So I should catch the boxes again. So catch the boxes. And how many columns? Repeat. 1, 1 FR. And how many rows? Repeat. 4, 200 pixel, right? If I check the output now for small screens, did I miss something here? Okay, 1F5, yeah, sorry. Yeah. So now for small screens, you're getting only one layout. For small screens, I get only 150 pixel, not 200 pixel. It is very large. Okay. So now order is also changing, right? So can you do for order here in this case? So order is you're getting box 1 first, box 1, box 4, box 2, box 3. So box 3 should have highest order. So you can give box 3 order as some 4. This is 3, 2, and 1. Can you try this, everyone? Do you want me to do with grid area? Same thing. Okay. So for grid area, what we need to do? So I will comment out all these things and I will write separately there. Or shall I write in the same page? I'll copy this and I'll paste one more file. v1 dot I'm copying the same code and I'll remove these things now. I'm keeping the media syntax as it is. I'm not removing that. This is for medium screens, small screens, and I will keep the background color as it is. And I'll keep the navbar. So now do I need navbar separately for grid template columns? So I'll tell how to make this navbar directly using template columns and all. Sorry, using grid area. So now I will remove these boxes. So right now I have only this layout called navigation and then boxes, box 1, box 2. And for building this, we don't want separate, we don't need separate divs, right? Everything should be in one single div. Do you agree with that? For solving by grid area, because previously we were solving by template column methods, we need separate div for navigation. But now we can directly include this navigation inside this boxes div. Okay, I'll remove this. What happened? Yeah, what happened? Did I close that? Okay. Yeah, I will remove this navbar also. So what I'll do, so instead of 1, 2, I will change 2, 3, 4, 5. And for one first box, I will give yellow color background. Understood, everyone? So this is the basic layout. This is 1, not 2. This is the basic layout we have. So navigation, box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4. Cool. Now for these boxes, we need to give display as grid. So before solving by that method, what is the first thing we need to do? What is the first step? What is the first step? We need to give labels, right? Labels. So first give labels. What is the syntax? Grid area. And for navbar, I will write label as nav. Okay. And for this, I will write for box 1, I will write B1. For box 2, I will write B2. For box 3, I will write B3. And for box 4, I will write B4. Clear until this, everyone? I given all the all the labels for nav, box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4. So now write display grid. Now tell me how many columns I want and how many rows I want for large screens. How many columns I want for large screens. How many columns and how many rows I want. 3x1, right? Look at this output and tell me how many columns I have in this and how many rows I have in this. It is 4x2, right? 4 columns and 2 rows. 2x4. 2 columns and 2 rows and 4 columns, right? So I will write, repeat, how many columns? 4, 1 FR. And how many rows? 2 rows. What is the height of, is my height different for both the rows or same height? Different, right? So what is my height of first row? Around 50 or 60 pixel. So I'll keep 60 pixel. And what is second row height? 200 pixel. You can't see any output because we didn't give any template areas now. So now we will try to build the template areas. So grid template areas. How many rows you want inside this? The template areas? You want 2 rows? Okay. So first row, what is there in the first row? In first row, you want nav bar, right? How many nav bars you want? Means how many navs you want? First, look at the second row. In second row, what are the various things you have in second row? We have B1, B2, B3, B4. Agree with me? B1, B2, B3, B4, right? So you're having box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4. But for navigation, for each and every column, you have the navigation only, right? So what will you write for this? So can you write nav 4 times? Can you see the output now? I'll give some gap. Can you see the output? For large screens. Understood? Font size and all you can give that. I'm not giving it. Why now 4 times? Suppose if I give only 2 times, what will happen here? If I give only 2 times, what will happen? So you can't give something, so you can't leave it empty. So I will keep dot and dot. So what is happening in this case? If you are giving only 2 navs, it's sending at 2 columns only, right? But you want for entire row. So what will you do? You'll keep 1 more nav. You'll come for 3 columns and 1 more now. You come for 4 columns. Understood? Now for medium screens, what do you want? For medium screens, what do you need to change? So I go to medium screens now. So I will write boxes, display, grid. How many columns in medium screens? How many columns in medium screens? So look into this medium layout. How many columns? 2 columns, right? So I will write, repeat, 2, 1 FR. And how many rows in medium screens now? How many rows in medium screens? 3 rows. What is my first row height? First row height, I'm asking height. So we took around 60 pixel, right? So I will take 60 pixel and 200 pixel, 200 pixel. Can I take like this? Now in grid template areas, what I need to do? So grid template areas, how many rows I want inside the template areas? How many rows I want? 3, right? So I'll take 3 strings, 1, 2, 3. Inside first row, what should I get inside the first row? I should get nav and nav, right? Because you want navigation for 2 columns. In second row, what is the first box? Box 1 and box 3. So what you can write here? B1 and then B3. And for last row, B2 and B4. So now can you see the output for medium screens? For large screens, this is for medium screens. Understood? Can you try for small screens now? For small screens, what is the thing you will get? You should write now B for small screens, you should get 1 4 2 3, right? So now B1, B4, B3 and B2. Can you guys try this for small screens? The template area should look like this. Now B1, B4, B3, B2. Try this as a homework. Okay. You should change the number of columns also as needed. So here it is 4 columns. Sorry, 1 column and 4 rows, 5 rows. Sorry. Can you use repeat here for this? Instead of typing to 200 pixels, I told this yesterday. Repeat 2 comma 200 pixels. This will also work. So for this question, this method is easy, right? Instead of writing orders, for this question, particular question, this method is easy. But for solving large layouts, grid template columns, this method is easy. Okay, you can follow whatever you want. Now let's take the second question. So you should build something like this. Okay. So this is for large screen, and for medium screen, I want 2 cards per row. Means I want only 2 cards per row. And for small screens, I want only 1 card per row. Understood? This is the output I want. And for medium screens, I want 2 cards. And for small screens, I want only 1 card. Shall we solve this? With live server. So what is the first heading we want as some H1? So I'll copy this heading and I'll keep it inside H1. So you need text align center for this, right? So write text style and H1 text align center. So I got something like this. We will mention of Arbaz what to follow, what is the method you need to follow. But you don't want this to be in same line, right? So you want this in separate line. So what you should do for that? Someone is telling break again. If you tell break, then I will break your marks, evaluation marks. I should reduce the width, right? Yeah. So for this H1, I will give width as 60%. So I'm getting, so I'll give some border so that you can look into it. Border 1 pixels, 1 pixel solid. So I need to reduce a bit more. So I'll take 40%. Yeah. So I need this test to the center. What should I do again? Margin auto, margin auto. So now this is ready for your large screen, right? You can further reduce it if you want. Yours should come at the next line. So you can write as 35% if you want. So it depends upon your screen size basically. Yeah. I will remove this border now. Not needed anymore. This is for large screen. Okay. I'm building for large screen initially, and then I'll build for small and medium. And we want one more paragraph below this. So instead of this, can I keep this inside a div instead of keeping separately? So what I will do is I'll keep this inside a div. And I will cut it and paste it. And I will tell ID equal to heading. Instead of H1, I will write heading. Okay, so now you're getting something like this. Okay. I'm applying both properties for H1 and P, so that's why I'm keeping inside a div. So top section is done, but the widths are different. You can also rewrite it then. So what? Okay, how to catch this P now? I want to catch this P. How can I catch it? So heading greater than P, I will write width as 50%. Now I will get. Okay, I'm taking. It's taking 50% of the parent here. So what should I do? If I take 100%, I'll try to keep more than 100%. Let's try to keep the border and shake. The border is like console log for you in CSS. Do you know that? Border is like console log for you. Okay, so suppose if I try to increase my width 120%, is it increasing? But it is not approachable, it is not recommended, so you should not use that. So what we can do in this case, instead of, so I can't really change this. So you should give separately then for this heading and for this P. Don't keep a separate div, so you can directly can keep this as like this, and adding greater than H1, you can give width as 35%. And for adding greater than P, you can keep width as 40% or 50%. My margin auto is not working. No, margin auto should work. Order doesn't matter. You can keep wherever you want. Okay, then do it separately. So take it as H1 and P. So for H1, you can keep 35% and margin auto. And for P, you can keep 50% and margin auto. Remove this heading. Remove this border. Okay, and texture line center for both. Okay, so you're getting something like this. I can also give some margin top for P. I'll give some margin top of 30 pixels or 25 pixels, whatever it may be. Cool. So now my top section, so you cannot give P directly because you can have multiple P's in your app. So what you can do is you can write H1 plus P, right? Can you write like this? Because you can have multiple P's in your app. So you can't directly write P with 50%. If you have multiple H1s, then you need to keep this H1 in some class or ID. Can you separate ID for H1 in that case? Okay, so now my top section is done. So now I want 3 columns. So what will I do? I'll keep a parent container and keep display grid. And inside that, I will keep 3 columns. Understood? So what will I do? So go into this and I will write div ID equal to container. How many child divs? 3 child divs. So for this container, I will write display as grid. How many columns? Grid template columns. Repeat. Do you want the entire page? So repeat 3, 1 FR. And how many rows you want? Grid template rows. Only 1 row, right? So initially I'll give some height as 400 pixel. Okay. After that, I'll change this to auto. Remember that. I'll give some gap of 20 pixel and I'll give some border also so that you can look into that. So container greater than div. I will give border 1 pixel solid red. I'll give some margin top also. Margin top of 40 pixels. So are you getting 3 boxes now? I don't want 100% of width. So what I will do is I will decrease the width. So width, I will keep it as 80% maybe. And margin is auto. Okay. So now tell me why this margin top is not working for me. I gave margin top, but it is not working. Why? Why it is not working? This margin auto is overwriting, right? So you need to write this margin top below this margin auto. Okay. So now your boxes are ready. So inside each box, what do we have now? Inside each box, we have some kind of H1 tag or some P tag or some tag with some. I will keep some H3 tag here, H2 or H1, H2, H1, and 2 P's. Can I take that? H2, H1, and P, and again P, and a button. So for each and every box, I will keep H2, sorry, H2, H1, P, again P, and a button. Inside H2, what do I want? I want the starter plan and free per month. And then one more P tag. And then start now. It's looking very bad. So I want everything to be center line. So what should I do? Text line center for all the tags or for the parent? Only for parent, right? So where is the parent for each and every box? This is the parent. So I will write text align center. So I'll give box shadow instead of borders. So box shadow, copy this and I'll paste it. So now can I remove this 400 pixel? Can I keep it as auto? Because I filled in the matter. So now it is auto. Is it looking good? You want some space for this, right? If you see the original layout, you have some space. So what can I do for that to get some space between these two? Margin or padding. And height also very more. So can I use line height and padding? How to catch this P now? I want to catch this P tag. How can I catch the P tag? How to catch this P tag? So shall I go from the parent? I will not write nth child. So I will write container greater than div greater than P plus P. Can I write like this? So container greater than div will move to this div and greater than P will go to this P plus P will go to this P. For this, I will write some padding. I want padding from left and right only. So I will write 0 pixel and 20 pixel. So we're getting something like this. Okay. And for start now, we need some margin bottom, right? For this button, we need some margin bottom. Instead of giving margin bottom, shall I give padding for the parent container? Yeah, I can also give line height. Yes, I can also give that. Line height around 25 pixels. Okay. So instead of giving margin bottom for start now, I'll give padding bottom for the entire parent. Okay, for the entire parent. So where is the entire parent? Container greater than div. Okay. So for this, I'll give padding bottom of 20 pixels. So I'm getting some kind of layout. This is okay. I can give some style into the button now. So I'll give some button background color. So background color is blue and color is white. I'll remove the border. Border is 0. I'll give some padding to the button. Padding 10 pixel, 20 pixel. I can increase font size also. So you guys know this, right? That's why I'm coding fast. So start now. Yeah, also I will reduce this to 18 pixel. It's very large. And also some border radius. Border radius at 10 pixels. Is it fine? So I'm copying the same text for each and every box. You can try with different text if you want. Okay, it is not mandatory also. So I'm copying the same text for each and every box. And for per month, it is some italic text. Can you do that? How to catch this per month? How to catch the per month? So I can go to container greater than div greater than p of first child, right? I want container only for first child. So how can I get italic text? There is something called as font style, I guess. Yeah, font style italic. So what is the mistake here? First style italic. Hmm, it is not working. And the child of one. Or else we can try h1 plus p also. Yeah, this one is working. I don't know why the answer is not. Okay, so what I did is I catch the h1 and then p. You can also simply write, you can't write h1 plus p because you already wrote this. You already have h1 plus p. Okay, I got it. So why previously it's not working? That's not the issue. Okay, you can use this h1 plus p container means selector, adjacent sibling selector for achieving that. Clear? How can we achieve these things? For some buttons it is background color blue and color white, and for some buttons it's not. So how can we do that? This is some kind of hovering, right? It's some kind of hovering, not the original thing. So when you hover on this button, you should get it. So instead of writing this background color blue, so you should get all these things whenever you hover it on that, right? So button hover. So when you hover on this, you want that, right? Am I right? By default, what do you want? By default, it is background white and color blue. Can you see that? By default, it is background white and color blue. And when you hover on it, it is background blue and color white. So what we can do is for simple button, I'll copy this and I will write background color. I'll remove this background color. Color is blue. This is enough. So normally, and border is also blue. So you can keep border 0 or border 1 pixel solid blue. Yeah. So now when you hover on it, you'll get different color and background. Can you see that? Now, is it done for large screens now? For medium screens, what do I need? For medium screens, I need 2 cards per row. So what is the thing I need to change here? So first I'll add the syntax at the rate media and minimum width. What is the minimum width? For medium screens? 481 pixel. And what is the maximum width? 768 pixel. And what is the thing I need to change? I need to change only these columns, right? So I'll catch the container. How many columns I want for medium screens? 2, 1 F. Now if I go to medium screens, can you see the output? So I change only one line of code for getting medium screens. It is not looking good. H1 is not looking good, right? In this case, can you see it is not looking very good. So what we can do for this? Why it is looking like that? Because we have fixed the width of H1 here, 35%. So we will increase the width of H1 here. So H1 width is 60%. Is it looking good now? You can also increase P also, H1 plus P width as 90% or 80%. Looking good? So I just wrote these lines of code. I didn't repeat anything which is common between these screens. I only wrote the code which is not common between these screens. Understood? Now for small screens, what should I do? How many columns I need? Media all, and what is the minimum width? 320 pixel, and what is the maximum width? 480 pixel. So what is the thing I need to change for medium for small screens? Only one column, right? So container grid template columns, repeat 1 comma 1. Can you see the output now? But this width is not looking good, right? So okay, shall I increase the width of the cards also? I'll keep width as 95% instead of some 80%. So for H1 also I need to increase again. H1 with 100%. I'll keep both H1 and P here. H1 comma P. H1 comma H1 plus P. Understood? Is it okay now? For small screens, medium screens, and large screens. Any doubts? Why use comma? So for both these things, I want with 100%. Okay. Here I want different width, so I wrote differently. But for small screens, I want both as 100%, so I'm keeping comma. Instead of writing it 2 times, instead of writing this 2 times, I can simply write in 1 time. It is similar to writing H1 comma H1 plus P. Yes, for Masai course, you can go with this of when you go to companies, the minimum width and maximum width they will provide. So what is the sizes you need to code, they will provide this. So you will not decide that. Why container width is 95%? Container is this container, right? This cards container. I'm fixing the container width here. I'm not fixing the child width. Container width is 80% here and 95% here. If I keep some border, you understand. Okay. So can you see? It is container is entire parent thing, not child things. If you're giving one FR, right? So it will take the entire width of the parent only. It will work, Shrikant. You might have doing some mistake there. Guys, you should write these 2 things. You should write at the bottom of the styles. Okay. Don't keep this at the top. It won't work. You should write this media properties at the bottom of your code after styles. So after the end of your styles, you should keep at the bottom. So whatever styles you write as common, keep it above this media only. Don't keep it below the media or between the media. So for getting a font or getting colors of any website, so I will tell you one trick here. So if you go to inspect, beside this mobile, can you see one arrow here? Select arrow. So if I select on this, if you hover on anything, I'm hovering on this. Can you see the background color anywhere here? Background color and font size, and then font family. Can you see color 48 pixel pop-ins? Can you see that? If I hover on anything, if I hover on this button, so can you see the background of button here? EDO331. And what is the font size? 18 pixel. So you can scroll on whatever color you want, you'll get all the colors. If I scroll on this background, so can you see the background color here? double E F7. For this background is F6 ED E7. So you can use the inspect tool very much. So some of the font families you need to copy from Google Fonts. So I'll tell that how to do that. I will tell maybe next week while doing some assignments. So for font size and font family, you can use this select tool very much. Okay, it will give you all the colors. Yeah, developer tools. Margin in minutes. What is minutes? Shortcuts of VS Code. I will share a video regarding that. Okay. So I'll share a video regarding shortcuts of VS Code. Not this week. After end of your evaluation, I'll share. Okay. I understand your doubt, Ankit. So this is the end of your HTML CSS. Okay. So tomorrow we'll shift to JS again. So are you confident now of building websites? It will take some time, so don't worry. During end of this unit, you will be building some very good websites. We'll see some advanced things in CSS also during sprint 4. We'll have one more class for advanced CSS. What will come in this evaluation? Whatever you learn for the particular week, you will get all those things in evaluations. When we get our evaluation marks, I don't know, you should ask your EC ones. For the entire week, Saturday's deadline is. Assignment take too much of time. It will take too much of time. Recording is not stopped. So